back again. Let's do today's lesson is from page 209. We're on lesson number 116. And first thing, because yesterday's lesson I didn't do this, but first thing, let's go over last night's assigned work before we even start today's lesson. And today's lesson, you're going to find that it's so easy because it's very similar to yesterday's. So, yesterday I assigned 3 A through F and 7A through G. So let's look at this real quick. 3A is 15 and a half inches, B 8 inches, C 2 3/4 inches, D 54 inches, E 6.8 inches, and F 3 7/16 inches. Now, if you did not get that, go back and make sure if they've given you a diameter to find radius, you divide by 2. If they've given you a radius, then to find diameter, you multiply by 2. So go back and check that one if you didn't get it. And then 7A through G are your formulas. So area equals 1/2 base times height for a triangle on A. B, perimeter equals 4S for a square. C, perimeter equals 2L plus 2W for a rectangle. D, area equals base times height. E, C equals pi D or pi times diameter. F, A equals LW or at length times width. And G, area equals S squared. So today we're going to work on finding circumference again. And you're thinking, what in the world? We just did this. But we are finding circumference with, I'm going to start my timer, so sorry. We are finding circumference with the radius instead of the diameter. So if we look here, yesterday we said to find circumference, we did pi times diameter. Well, what if you're only given a radius? Pretty simple, we can figure this out, right? The formula for the circumference of a circle, given the radius or using a radius, is C equals 2 pi r. 2 times pi, remember yesterday we figured out pi was 3.14 or 3 1/7 times your radius. So there's a trick you can do this way. You can double your radius, 2 times r is double your radius, or you can do 2 times pi, which is 6.28 times your radius. 2 different ways, so whichever way you feel comfortable, that's the way you can use. Let's go to 1A. Now 1A is a story problem. It says, Mrs. Green has a circular flower garden. The radius is 7 feet. What is the circumference of the garden? Find the answer to the nearest whole foot. Well, I've taken the liberty and I've drawn our circle here. She said her garden was 7 feet in radius or diameter. Let's look in radius. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to put my 7 feet in radius. And I'm going to use the formula that I was just given, and I'm going to use black so you guys can see it a little bit better. Circumference equals 2 pi r, or 2 times pi times radius. Circumference equals 2 times 3.14 times 7, which is my radius. I can do this 2 ways. I can say 2 times 7 is 14. 14 times 3.14. Or we can have it memorized 2 times pi or 2 times 3.14, 6.28. And times that by the radius. So I'm going to choose to do it that way. 6.28 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 5 is 19. Carry my 1. 7 times 6 is 42 plus 1 is 43. So I get circumference equals 43. Oops, forgot my decimal point here. 2 times. 0.96 feet. But my question says round to the nearest whole foot. Okay. So the number that's in the nearest whole numbers place is the 3. We underline the 3. Circle that number next to it. It's the boss. The 9's a big number, so it makes that 3 go up 1. So we get circumference equals 44 feet. It is 44 feet around the circumference of her garden. That's a pretty big garden, I would think. Lots of stuff you can grow in there. Okay, let's move on to B. Oops, dropping my markers. Let's move on to B. It says, during a party, the Benson's dog was tied to a pole. Aw, poor doggy. The length of Duke's rope was 15 feet. What is the circumference of the circle that Duke could run around? Okay, so let's think of it here. Here is Duke's pole, okay? The radius would be Duke's rope. And they told us that that rope is 15 feet. That's a pretty big area that he gets to run around. We're going to find, it said, already told us, circumference. Circumference equals pi times diameter. Circumference equals, excuse me, I'm not doing diameter, am I? That's right, that's true, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing 2 times pi times radius. Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at, right? Circumference equals 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times my radius of 15 feet. Okay, I know 2 times pi is 3.14. Pi is 3.14 times 2 is 6.28 times my radius, which is 15 feet. So I'm going to come over here, 6.28 times 15. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 4 is 14. 1 times 5 is 30 plus 1 is 31. 6 times 5. Put an X. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 6 is 6. 0. 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 2 is 4. And 3 plus 6 is 9. Okay. Don't forget my decimal. Don't forget my decimal. 94.2. Now, do we need to round this one? No, it didn't tell us we had to round. So we know that that Duke's circumference that he can go around is 94.2 feet. All the way around his circle. Okay? So let's move on to finding the circumference. It tells us for number 2 to use the formula 2 pi r, 2 times pi times radius. So number 2a is my radius is 5 inches. Don't forget, draw that circle. That circle will kind of help you. Oh yeah, that's a circle, that's a radius. My mind is clicked in now, ready to go, right? So circumference equals 2 times pi times radius. Circumference equals 2 times 3.14 times 5. Circumference equals, I know 2 times 3.14, 6.28 times 5. Okay, I'm going to come over here and do this multiplication. You do it as I'm doing it, and then we'll check. And you should have gotten, let's see if you got what I got, 31.4. Can't forget to label inches. Check yours. Now guess what? If you didn't get that, go back, rewind, and watch how to work it out because that will help you. It will, the great thing, and I know I've said this already, but I love these videos because you guys can go back and watch. Hey, wait, how did Mrs. Rossini say how to do that? You can go back and watch now. It's going to be an awesome thing. Okay, let's look at B, I think you know how to do that, so try B on your own. Pause right now, try B. Okay, when you get back, so 2B should be 45.216 feet when you work it out, okay? Let's go to 3. It says find the circumference and use the formula C equals pi d. C equals pi times diameter, okay? So I took the liberty, I drew my circle here. My diameter is 9 feet. I know that I'm not using radius because the instructions told me I have to use a diameter. Let's work this out. C equals pi times diameter. Good. C equals 3.14 times my diameter is 9 feet. 3.14 times 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 1 times 9 is 9 plus 3 is 12. 3 times 9 is 27 plus 1 is 28. My 2 decimal places, 28.26. Circumference equals 28.26 feet. So what's really cool about a circle circumference is that, you can probably still hear me, yes. What's really cool about a circle circumference is that you can find the circumference doing it two different ways, using a radius or a diameter. That's a really neat thing. Try 4B for me real quick. Not 4, 3B for me real quick. Pause it, and you should get 56.52 feet. Okay, let's move on to 4 very quickly. Number 4 says find the distance around the shapes. What? They didn't tell us what to do, but they did. Look at the words. Find the distance around the shape. Well, remember, the distance around a circle is a circumference. The distance around a rectangle is the perimeter. Or a square, that's a great square, is the perimeter. Or a triangle is the perimeter. So the distance around means perimeter. So let's look at A. I have a rectangle, and my length is 17 feet, and my width is 8 feet. Remember, label, draw. It's going to help you big time. Perimeter of a rectangle. P equals 2L plus 2W. P equals 2 times 17 plus 2 times 8. If I'm going too fast, pause. Do it step by step with me. P equals 2 times 17 is, and I know I'm going to have all these hands if you guys were here, 34. Plus 2 times 8 is 16. P equals 34 plus 16. Now, I want to be sure, make sure my mental math is as good as my working it out math, and I get 50 feet. So the distance around that rectangle is 50 feet. Try B for me real quick. Pause the video. Okay, you should get 212 yards. Perimeter equals 212 yards. Okay, now tonight I would like you to try, if you go to page 210, 5, A, B, C, and D. If they give you a radius, you find the diameter by doubling it. If they give you the diameter, divide by 2 to find the radius, and then work out those circumferences for me. So I'd like you to do 5, A, B, C, and D. And I would like you to do 8F, because you're finding the base. Remember, percentage divided by percent, written as a decimal. If you're not sure, go back to that base video from the beginning of the week. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.